Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is a weekend review for the week ending February 3rd, 2023. Looking at a weekly chart of the S&P 500. We do have liftoff from where I sit. This 410.49 level, close above, very bullish. Captured the 50-week moving average for 2 weeks in a row, very, very bullish. EMA 5, SMA 10 bull cross, very bullish. ADX is now rising with price. Very, very bullish. Have to do that to get any momentum. Trend mode on the daily. The longer she sits above this level, the higher she'll go. The reality is, though, she could pull all the way back to 396 by OPEX. OPEX this month is February 17th. She's broken this downtrend. She could come all the way back to retest this downtrend in something that looks just like this. Definitely could happen and still be very, very healthy. You have the golden cross, SMA 50 above SMA 200, crossing above. You have the Bollinger Bands rising with price. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Friday, you certainly have some pullback. And right now, the target for that pullback is as low as 402. Throw the ball around the horn. QQQ. Just captured the 50. You can see is lagging. Looking to play catch up. All the same things are true here. Such a steep pullback into the December lows that I am not expecting a steep pullback here. 300 this week. Below that, you got something else going on. Has not put in the golden cross on the daily chart. Again, could pull all the way back to this descending trend line, right? It's really a linear regression line, and price is still in the proximity here, so you don't want to get too bullish just yet. That being said, you have the positive momentum divergence. You had the TD9 13.9 buy setup on the weekly, the TD9 buy setup on the monthly for the Qs. So I would expect this to continue for another 6 weeks or so at minimum. Same thing is true with SMH. You had all the TD9 buy setups on the weekly and the monthly. Here on the weekly, ADX is at 40. You do have trend mode. This is a breakout. This is a full-blown breakout. This was your wave 2 pullback that no one wanted. And the volume confirms that sellers are done. They've been declining going back to the start of the bear market, January 2022. Now you've got a close above the top of the Bollinger Band. Pullback here is definitely likely. Could pull all the way back down to here. 228s. Still be very, very bullish. Golden cross. Same thing. Just pointing out this weekly looks really, really good. And if you come in here to the monthly, we're looking to capture the monthly 20. You come into the quarterly, really just came into the 20. So has the quarterly trend changed? No. You had a high, right? You had a low here, set a high. Now you've got a higher low here. If they set a lower high and then break this low, you will have a trend change on the quarterly. We don't have that right now. And what trend do you have on the weekly? You have a series of higher lows and higher highs. This is true on every one of these charts I'm showing you, on all the majors. The low here from 196 is the weekly higher low for SMH. Same thing for the Qs. The weekly higher low is here at 259. And if we throw the ball around the horn to IWM, the weekly higher low for IWM is 170. So this thing could pull back again above 170 and still be in a weekly uptrend. The trend on the daily is up. The trend on the weekly is up. The trend on the quarterly is up. So he just pulled straight back into a rising 20. This is an uptrend. Sorry, bears. Maybe you get something like this. Maybe. This is possible. Maybe it's even steeper. Maybe it's just something like this. Drive everyone nuts. Go nowhere for 3 years. But right now, all we have is higher low, high. Looks like we're changing the trend. Nope. Pull back. Break above last quarter's high. And when you look at the daily chart, ADX is rising with price. You look at the weekly chart, ADX is above 30, while PPO is positive in bull cross, bearish divergence in play. Came back to test this very important supply level going back 5 years. So price has literally done nothing for 5 years, 13%, 4.5 years. And we want to act like all she's done is go straight up. Couldn't be further from the truth. Talk a little bit more about IYT and this confirmation. We do have confirmation of a breakout. All the same things are true. ADX, PPO, everything being confirmed. She was the first one to top back here in May of 2021 and is now topping and is now breaking out. As long as she continues to lead, there's nothing wrong with this. Trend mode is being signaled on the weekly, golden cross on the daily. Same story on all these charts. Let's take a look at XLF. Are the financials confirming? Yes, they are. Another high. So, it's possible. Just some subjective lines here that we just put in a 5-wave move higher, and we're going to pull back to this level here. It's also possible this is some big expanded flat. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. All I want to know is, are we diverging momentum from price? And do we get the sell signals on the daily? Looking at the weekly, ADX is rising, but is definitely not at 30 like the others are. And is above all the moving averages. And is in a clear uptrend. High, higher low, higher high. So this is leading higher and confirming higher prices. But you do have a bearish divergence here. Higher prices, lower momentum highs. Higher prices, lower momentum highs. So it's possible that you get a pullback all the way to 33s. It would still be for buying. We're not in a sell the rip market. And when you look at XLF in particular, you've got the pullback to this very, very important level from May of 2007. Looking at the quarterly chart, you see the same thing. Right? So come down, set a high, break that low, come down, set a high. Uptrend still intact. Came right back to the middle of the trend line. Could keep doing this. So these are all uptrends. Okay? Let's take a look at XLE. Has stalled here on the monthly and the quarterly. The weekly here still in an ascending channel, but the same thing's happening with momentum that I was talking about on XLF, where she keeps putting these marginal new highs on lower momentum, and that's what tends to lead to a larger breakdown. And what could easily happen is price fall all the way back down to this point of control at 67. This diamond top is still holding, and price has been stuck between a range going back to June of 2022. And if you look at the monthly chart, this is pretty steep. Right? And she's out of time. So curling over, histogram rolling over, energy looks weak. All right, let's take a look at the dollar. Here's dollar. Close above the 20. Last time that happened, it was a bull trap. Looking at the weekly chart, still in a descending channel, by the way. Looking at the weekly chart, same channel is true here. And as you can see, still below a declining 10. A lot of bearish momentum and pressure on the weekly. And DeMark has not fired again. So the TD9 happened, they blew right through it. It means you got to keep waiting. This is an outside candle on the weekly. It will become a reversal candle if it can close above the high 103.06. And what would that do? It would make 105 target and a 106, 107 target. The trend is down on the weekly time frame. This is a downtrend. All right. And if you go out to the monthly time frame, this is an uptrend. So what you had here was a higher low, high, and we broke that higher low pattern, but we've coming off the high, we've come straight down. So in this instance, when you reverse on the monthly, which looks like it's happening here at the 20, which is what I've been calling for, you would expect a retracement of 50% of that move. 107, 106. So that's where I'm expecting to find more supply, which is really the monthly 10. So we'll see what happens here with the dollar. But it's clearly having a huge impact on the metals. If we go back over and take a look at gold, this could have been the lower high on the monthly, setting up right now. That's a pretty large pullback. PPO is breaking down. ADX is not confirming trend. ADX is saying the trend is up, and this is a pullback in an uptrend. You did get the golden cross here. And so we're just going to have to wait and see if the bulls can now confirm the 50 is demand after putting in that cross. And it's the same thing that you're going to have to do on all the other charts as well. You're going to have to see, okay, SMH put in this golden cross. Now, in the coming weeks, can this 50 period moving average come up and provide demand and prove that the shorter term trend is now up and the bulls are in control? And that's what we're looking to see on essentially all these charts. Let's take a look at let's take a look at rates, the bond market. Okay, and what we have here is a rising wedge that looks to be breaking down from where I sit. Broken down at the 10 for 2 months, and momentum is rolling over. You can see the histogram rolling over. Okay, and it's at 6. It can definitely go higher. You zoom out to the quarterly, we have a TD9 sell set up on the quarter. That's not a good look. Again, this is 2007 was at 53, and here we are stalling out at 41. All right, coming from 3. It's not about what the Fed says. It's about what the bond market is telling you. And these are the yields. And the yields are telling me that this is likely it. And if that's true, what does that mean for TLT? Right? They should catch a bid. And here we are with the same TD9 buy setup on the quarterly for the 20-year Treasury bond. So that's just something to keep in mind. As the yields top, as rates top, you'll see a decline. XLRE is already pricing that in. So yeah, that's all I got over there. Let's take a look at some of the breadth signals that we have. US new highs, new lows, cumulative with the 50-day moving average. And you basically got the sell signal back here at the start of the year of 2022. And now you're getting the buy signal here to start February. Very, very important. This is what allowed me to identify that the bull market was rolling over. This right here, this concept of confirmation, failure to reach new levels during a secondary reaction is a warning that the primary trend may be reversing. Okay, these are called non-confirmations, and you see these in IWM and IYT first. Okay, so SPY was setting a new high, and IWM was not confirming that high. Okay, notice we don't have anything like that now. We have the opposite of that right now. The reason I'm bringing this up is that what you want to see is this sentiment get completely washed out, which we do have, and then all the sectors rallying higher led by the weakest, the transports and IWM. And if you look now, those are the strongest sectors. Okay? We've got more stocks made new 52-week highs than when the major averages were at all-time highs a little over a year ago. High beta outperforms low beta, which is something you see at the start of bull markets. And here's a bull market, bear market, rebirth checklist. And they're 5 for 5. You couple this with the breadth thrusts that we talked about a few weeks ago, and one can easily conclude that we are in a new bull market. Real quickly, we'll take a look at how the stocks are doing year to date, and I'll wrap up this video. So far, NVIDIA and DADAT are still leading. ARK is also up here. Bitcoin, STX, CRISPR, SE, LabVIEW, and even the pot stocks made the list. So that's all I got. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week.